My dad prepared me from a young age to expect to be abandoned when I turned 18 because he hated being a single father. Now he's met someone he wants to make his wife and wants me to play happy family with them, but I hate him now. Posted by you/few impression 6465. My dad's engaged to his partner of about 2 years. They moved in together last month, and their wedding is in December. I, 17 am my dad's only biological child. His almost wife has 3 kids of her own. Her kids are younger, under 10, maybe even all under 8, I'm not really sure. They decided they want to do a family unity ceremony and make it about becoming one family instead of just the 2 of them getting married. His future stepkids are excited about the idea and want to take part. I don't and won't take part. I already explained to him that I'm not interested and can't be talked into it. He asked me why and pushed me to reconsider. He told his fiancée, and she's freaking out because her kids have this idea that they'll get a big brother out of this marriage, and my dad and she told the kids we'd be real siblings once the 2 of them are married. All of this is despite the fact that I really don't know her or her kids. I've only spent any real time with the kids twice, and it was more about me trying not to be a jerk than actually wanting to spend time or get to know them. I think that's obvious because I don't even know their actual ages. Some background to explain the relationship dynamics, because I'm sure there are questions. My dad raised me alone. My mom left when I was less than a year old. I don't remember her. I don't remember her being around. Her family wasn't around or involved in my life either. I didn't have a lot of family besides my dad growing up, except for one of his siblings. For most of my life, my dad was a good dad. But when I was maybe 11, he started preparing me for the fact that he wanted his own life and planned to travel the world once I turned 18, and I'd be on my own. He talked about how I shouldn't expect to see him very often and to expect that we might not see each other for years at a time. He said he didn't want to be tied down for the rest of his life. That he would call or answer calls when he wasn't busy living life. He said some things that made me believe he resented raising me alone and having to change his life for me. He never really let up on that. He talked about it so much that we started to fight. I told him I got it, he was done being a dad at 18, and he told me I was being dramatic. I argued that he said I might go 5 or more years without seeing him, and that he might even ignore my calls so he could live life. I told him that sounded like he wanted to stop being a dad. He told me I focused on the wrong parts. When we argued about it other times, he said he wanted the life he missed out on and wasn't going to wait around for me to be ready. That I'd land on my feet eventually, and I wouldn't be his kid anymore, I'd be his peer. Which he then said I misunderstood. But basically, for years, I've been prepared to leave at 18 and not have my dad in my life. Then he met his almost wife, and all that talk about traveling the world stopped. He started being a dad to her kids. He spent time with them and started building a life with them. Eventually, he tried to include me, but that only really started in the last 4 or 5 months. I've ignored it. I did babysit twice for them, once when his almost wife was rushed to the hospital, and the second time when she had a follow-up surgery for health issues she has. My dad has tried to argue that our family is growing and that I should try harder to be included in it. I told him that won't happen. And if he wants whatever half-attempted relationship he planned to have with me before, then he needs to accept that. I said I'll come to his wedding if he wants me there, as long as he accepts that I won't be part of the ceremony. If he can't accept that, then I won't go, and he'll need to accept that too. His almost wife heard us talking and said I'm not taking the 11 good years into account, and that I'm punishing her children for my dad not being perfect, and that's not fair to them. She told me a good person would be glad dad decided to stick around and love the new people, especially the kids, and would want better for them. Am I the jerk here? And for full disclosure, I have about a month to go until I'm 18, and my plan is to move out that day. Top/relevant comments. Downvoted commenter. This is a tough situation. I mean, not the jerk for feeling how you feel toward your dad. It has to hurt being prepped to be solo at 18 for so long, and then he changes his mind, for her. However, it sounds like your problem is with your dad, and you haven't really gotten a chance to know her or her kids. I wouldn't immediately throw away the chance to build a strong family unit. If anything, I'd tell him no unless you two do some family therapy to see if you can overcome this. Ops response. I don't want a family unit with them. I accepted before they came along that I would be on my own, and there's nothing dad can say or do now to change the fact that he'll stay for them but not for me. Even therapy won't make me want to work on overcoming this. I have friends who are more like family to me than he is now. Commenter 2. Your dad set the parameters of your relationship when you were still young and drummed them into your head. Now that his priorities have changed, he acts surprised that you are not interested in a different kind of relationship. Go live your life. Ops response. He must have expected me to be the same upset 11-year-old who first found out what his dad had planned. 11-year-old me was so sad and worried. It felt like nobody wanted me. My mom hadn't wanted me and left, and my dad was basically saying he regretted sticking around to raise me and would leave once he wouldn't get in trouble for it. I had no idea what I was going to do. But I knew he was serious, so I thought about it and planned for when that time comes. Downvoted commenter. If those are the only resolutions you're willing to accept, then that would make you the jerk. You're essentially just saying you have no interest in being a family, and that will 100% cause an everlasting crack in your family, even if you ever decide to be part of it again. However, you're 100% justified in how you feel, and also in how your father's words and actions made you feel. There's no denying how crappy that is. However, his intentions might also include the fact that he could die tomorrow and you'd be left alone. It makes me think that his words and actions were also meant to prepare you to be able to survive on your own, since you don't really have any other close family to rely on. To me, the circumstances have changed a lot, and it really sounds like both his soon-to-be wife and your father want you to be a part of their family unit, at least for now. If you're adamant that you never want anything to do with this new part of his family or your father, then go along with the ultimatums you've set for yourself. Because this is the path you're setting up for yourself. Ops response. That's exactly what I'm saying. I have no interest in making these people my family. I have no interest in clinging to a man who is ready to discard me and is only changing his plans for new people, who only tried to include me later on. It's not like he worked to make up for the things he said and the plans he made for all those years. And he knew I was working to save so I could move out at 18. He knew I was saving to have a life when he wasn't there. At no point did he say he was sorry. He only ever argued that I saw the worst in what he was saying. But every time he tried to make a new point, he made it worse. And I have worked my back off to be ready for him to leave, and it got to a point where I knew that was better, because why pretend to see the best in a person who resents me for something I couldn't control, like being born? Commenter 4. What are your plans once you move out? Ops response. One other friend and I will be temporarily renting a place until after graduation, once our other friends can get settled. Then we're moving and getting a place together. We've talked about it a lot, and things have already started to fall into place. Only one of them needs it like I do, but the others are all on board because, to them, it's about us sticking together and helping the two of us. But they're also really excited that we'll all be roommates too. Update 2 days later. I debated posting my update, and I still might chicken out, but I'll write it out and see whether I post it or not. I know people wanted an update, and I was asked to talk more about what my plans were. I shared some details in my original post, but things have changed because I moved out. Technically, I was kicked out. On the day I made my post, I had plans to sleep at a friend's house. Once I got there, my dad sent a text saying his partner was rushed to the hospital again and he needed me to babysit again. I told him no once, and that was it. A few hours later, my dad asked where the hell I was and why I had said no when this was an emergency. He sent multiple texts, but when he realized I really wouldn't babysit and had stayed wherever the hell I was, he went off on me and told me if I wouldn't babysit and be there for the family, then I better stay gone. He texted me the next morning, technically yesterday, and said I was not living under his roof after that stunt and to stay the F gone. I knew he meant it, so when everyone was out, I went to the house and grabbed everything I had prepared to leave with when following my plan exactly. That included all the important documents I had, clothes, and anything I bought or that was given to me by people who aren't my dad. It was basically all ready to go anyway, and I got in and out without a fight. My friend's parents are letting me stay until I can follow through with my original plan, which was to get somewhere with a friend locally until we all graduate, and then some friends and I will be moving out of state. We've been working on this for a long time now. Honestly, I have been working my back off to save money to be able to leave regardless of whether I had help from friends, but having them definitely helps. My dad sent more texts since I grabbed all my stuff. He tried to guilt and shame me and talked about how much the kids needed me and that I wasn't there. But he also let out way more of his resentment toward me, and it confirmed what I already knew about him. He doesn't regret the way he treated me since I was 11. He meant every word he said, and that he expected me to pay him back for raising me. But I won't. I'm not staying to be treated like garbage. He still wants me out of his house, and he reminded me that I was not welcome back, that he better not come home to find me there ever again. So that's my update. It's been a crazy day/couple of days, and I got so many comments on my post, way more than I expected. I know a few people tried to convince me that he really did love me and didn't resent me and was trying to make it up to me. But after all this, I'm more convinced he resents me and that the trying to include me lately was an act to make me someone who could do stuff for him. I don't believe I ever had the dad I originally thought I had, because I don't think an actual good and loving dad would shut it all off one day for no good reason. Things have changed a little, but I'll keep working toward my plan. I'll also make sure I make it up to my friends' parents because I know this was unexpected for them, and I'm grateful they let me stay. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. You need a lawyer. You're still 17, so he owes you child support. You have all the evidence to go to the police if necessary. Talk to your friend's parents and ask them, your dad must pay, whether he wants to or not. Ops response. I'm not going to fight for child support. I know it would screw him, but I just want to get away from him, And being locked in some court battle with him would be a stress I don't need when I need to focus on more important things. Commenter 2. I would send a letter to his future wife, letting her know your side of this. Make it clear to her that you never intended to hurt her children and explain why you reacted the way you did. It will help her understand who she is marrying and why you behaved as you did. Apologize to her if you hurt her feelings, and assure her that it wasn't personal. It was just her family getting caught in the crossfire of your dad's ongoing rejection of his child. A letter like this will help keep your dad from completely controlling the narrative, make you seem more human, and hopefully help her realize his true character. Op's response. I don't care if he turns me into the bad guy. He can. At this point, I'm done, and I want nothing more to do with him or anyone connected to him. She can figure out on her own what he's like. Commenter 3. I know this may be a moot point, but do you still plan to attend his wedding, even as a guest? Op's response. After everything that's happened, I won't be attending. At all. There's no once a year or once a decade relationship going to happen anymore. I won't offer back what he offered to me. Commenter 4. So glad you got everything out. Regarding your mom, you only have his version. Your mom may not have abandoned you like your dad told you. Your dad is abusive, and let's get this straight, you do not owe him a damn thing for raising you. Keep all of the text messages in case you need them. Get through school, and then please attempt to find some of your mom's relatives and make sure she is still here. Your dad showed his true colors. Don't ever fall for a nice act from him. Never go over there or be alone with him. I would believe nothing he says. I think he is possibly lying about your mom. Op's response. I'll be honest, I don't want to do a search like that anytime soon, if ever. I've had enough crap to deal with, and there's still a chance they are both crappy humans who didn't want me.